Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live. We've got plenty to discuss tonight. We're starting off with an Arsenal Manchester City combined 11. I'm sure Steve will pick every single Arsenal player.
Oh, yes.
Zero bias, of course. Zero bias, of course.
Oh, not at all.
We're going to be discussing why William Saliba has not been starting for the French team. Didier Deschamps has shed some light on that. Can Declan Rice and Aaron Ramsdale change Ben White's mind in playing for England again? And of course, any more news on top of that as well. I'm joined by Steve, Kay, and Melvin Marks. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Yeah, really good, mate. Looking forward to Sunday, mate. It's all about Sunday, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is what it's all about. The big one.
Yeah, the big one. The big one. The season decider, Steve?
No, mate. No. They're doing it already, aren't they? It's funny you saying that because, like, I got up this morning, made myself a cup of tea, poured out my bran flakes, cut up my banana, sat down and I turned the telly on, thought, watch a bit of Sky Sports. First thing that came out was an advert and it said, watch Sunday, the season decider. The match that could, say who's going to win the title. And I was like, oh, no. Here we go. This is what we got here. But, yeah, look, it's it is a big one. There's no taking away anything from that. I was last few days, last week, I've been giving it a little bit of chest, looking forward to it. So, yeah, I'm looking for this. Today, the nerves are starting to set in. Honestly, it's like I've been really sort of like, come on, yeah, we're better, But, yeah, it hit today. It was like, what's today? Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Today's Tuesday, and it's like, it's getting close now. And, I'm starting to think, oh no, please don't lose this. But
right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to it. We're starting off with the combined 11. We'll start off with goalkeepers. So, Steve, who are you picking as the goalkeeper for the Arsenal and Manchester City combined 11?
Right. Now, is this like on form or is this just like overall?
Steve. Don't get me involved. Who are you picking? Who are you picking for the Manchester City and Arsenal combined 11?
All right, okay. Look, two really good goalkeepers. It's out of Ederson and Raya. Raya's had a dodgy start to the season. Ederson's I don't think he's been as good as other seasons, Ederson, but he's still like an incredible goalkeeper. I'm just gonna plump for Ederson on this one. Just an Ederson. There's not a lot between them, over the season, but I think I'll go for Ederson on this one.
All right, Steve, as begrudgingly it sounds like, picked Ederson as the goalkeeper in his combined 11. Melvin, who have you gone for as the goalkeeper in your combined 11?
To be a bit like Steve, are you saying with gloves or without gloves? No, I'll go for Ederson as well, I think, in all fairness.
All right, he's gone for Ederson as well. Any reason why? Just a superior goalkeeper?
I think that he's been consistent for so many years now. At the top level, it'd be very hard to dislodge him. I mean, our goalkeeper's had a very, very good 6 months. And that's where, very good 6 months. He's had his dodgy period as well, our goalkeeper, let's not forget. But so I think Ederson gets my vote.
All right, Ederson gets the nod for both Melvin and Steve. Hensei says, evening chaps, bit late here in Finland, but I'm trying to stay on for a while. Thank you very much for the support. And hey, make sure you're pressing that like button and the share button. Just press the copy button. It helps out, trust me. Okay. We're next up we have right back. So the choices are probably out of Kyle Walker and Benjamin White. I mean, you could have Tommy Yasu, but it's been Ben White who's been the mainstay in the right back position.
Yeah, I mean, Kyle Walker's probably the best right back in Premier League history. Or he's certainly right.
A statement, Steve. Bit of a statement.
Yeah, I think he's up there. I mean, look, I can't stand the bloke. Do you know what I mean? He's a bit of a knob. Do you know what I mean? I think we all know that. But taking away like his knob rating, which I suppose we have, which I suppose we have to do.
His missus wants to take away his knob rating. It's got a back too much, isn't it?
Yeah,
bloody hell.
Yeah. Don't, Melvin, no clipping that one, please. I know you're into your clippings lately, right? No clipping that bit.
All right.
But that sounds even worse, doesn't it? Right, now come on, back to serious stuff. No, I think he has been. I think up there with probably Ivanovic and I suppose the other, not Gary Neville. But yeah, look on this season. I don't think Walker's been great this season. I think he's been found out on occasions. He's definitely not the Kyle Walker of old. I've seen him in games this season get caught, and he's actually been dropped on occasions by Walker. Sorry, by Pep. I think since maybe around the fifth, sixth game of the season, I think Ben White's been absolutely outstanding and back to his best and back to the form that he was like how he was playing last season. So yeah, look, Kyle Walker probably over the period of time is the better player. But I'm going to base this one on this season, and I'm going for Ben White.
Okay, Ben White gets the nod there for Steve. Okay, Melvin, who have you gone for in that right back position?
It's a tough one. This seriously is a tough one for me, but I'm going for Walker on the basis I want to keep my powder dry because I might be putting a few more Arsenal players. I don't want to do like 9 or 10 Arsenal players, so I can give it to the Man City. I think Walker's a very good fullback. I don't know about the best ever, but he's very, very good. Very
Premier League, not ever.
No, I'm talking about Premier League. I'm even Premier League.
Yeah.
So
I'd put him in the conversation, most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not many, is it? When you think about it, there's not many.
Yeah, if you break it down, it's hard for him not. For me, it's hard for him not to be in that conversation, especially like at his peak. I mean, he's dropped off a little bit now, but still, how old is he?
He must be 32.
I think he's maybe even older. But yeah.
Still fast though, isn't he? He hasn't dropped off.
Yeah, he's 33. He'll be 34 next season. So this is what I mean. He's still kept his pace.
Yeah,
he's come on leaps and bounds since he's got left Tottenham. I'll definitely put him in the conversation. But yeah, it's definitely a conversation to be had. Good to see you there, Russ. Thank you very much for the comment there. We'll go left back next. Steve, who's your left back in your combined 11? Manchester City and Arsenal.
This is really tough, isn't it? This is a difficult one. I'm trying
to think who Manchester City would have. I mean, they've played a Kanji there quite a few times. But then Arsenal this season have also had Zinchenko playing there. They've also had Jakub Kiwior playing there. So there's a choice of a few. Yeah,
I think based on again, similar to the Walker Ben White situation, I think if you're basing it over the best footballer, the best player, for me it's Zinchenko hands down. He's by far the better footballer out of all those you mentioned there for me. Anyway, I don't think people realise how good Zinchenko was last season. Do you know that? He's got a little bit of stick this season, Kears, right? And all right, he's in some games he hasn't been great, and he's had an injury. But I think people have got short memories. I think I've been a little bit guilty of that. So I want to put things a little bit right because on his day there ain't many better out there than him in that position. He just needs, if he could brush up a little bit more defensively. But I'm going to base this mostly all my picks on this season. I just think you've got to go for Ake because he's been the mainstay of playing on that left-hand side. And I think Pep's transformed him. He's come from Bournemouth. I mean, everybody was laughing at that one, and I mean, he's been brilliant for them. So it's a tight one. Kiar's done fantastically well. I'll let Melvin speak on Kiar, but I'm just going to go for Aki.
All right, Nathan Aki gets the nod for Steve. I think Aki's a stark reminder of to have patience. He's a player that for a couple of seasons was kind of a forgotten man at Manchester City, and it only took an injury for him to come in that team. And then once he came in, he was consistent, and every time he gets called upon, he's very consistent. Very underrated player, I think. Melvin, who have you got in at left back for the combined 11?
Well, Steve was talking about Zinchenko being a fantastic footballer, which he is, but we're talking about specific positions. So I wouldn't have him in at left back. I'd have Ake in because he can play left back, Ake, I suppose, and also central defender, but he seems to have grown into that left back spot, a bit like Kiwa has for us. But I think he's had some very, very good games this season. Going forward as well, Ake has been very strong. So no, he'd get my nod as well. I'm running out of Arsenal players here, and I got to hurry up soon.
Yeah, I think if Kiar would have started the season as left back and carried on in his vein of form, he might have, been more than, could have got a shout, maybe even in front of an Ake, because he's been incredible since he's came in. But yeah, just Ake for me.
All right, Ake gets the nod for both Melvin and Steve. The centre-back pairing, let's start off with the right centre-back. I mean, it don't really matter, but start off with the right centre-back, Steve.
Yeah, it's William Saliba, mate. It's not even, I don't even really have to think too hard on this one. I think, obviously, they've got John Stones, who's, for me, I'm a big fan of. I like him a lot. Pretty similar in the way they both play, both silky smooth, Rolls Royce, right-sided centre-backs, both comfortable with the ball. But for me, over the season, it's got to be William Saliba. Stones has been out a lot of it as well this season, so he's not played in too many games, I don't think. So yeah, Saliba for me, definitely.
All right, Saliba gets the nod on the right-hand side for Steve. Melvin, who are you picking for Manchester City and Arsenal combined 11 in that right centre-back position?
Well, I mean, it's got to be Saliba, isn't it? It's got to be. He is just the Rolls Royce of football. He's just unbelievable. You see him, his movement. He's got extra. He's a better player than John Stones, all-round better player. He's got that little bit of movement that John Stones can move forward with the ball very well, very comfortable on the ball. But he doesn't move, but he seems to move forward, if you like, in straight lines. Saliba just finds angles all the time. Goes one way, makes a body movement, and I mean, he could play in midfield. So I don't want him to, but he could play anywhere. That guy, he's got so much football ability, and for such a tall guy to have so much ball control, it's fantastic. Now Saliba all day long. And who's saying all night long? Lionel Richie. Now all day long it'll be.
Oh no. Yeah.
Saliba gets the nod for both Steve and Melvin in that combined 11 and the left centre-back spot. Do I need to even ask? Steve?
No, probably not, mate. Gabriel, without Eddie, again, very similar to Saliba. Don't even have to think about it. Look, if Man City fans are watching this, they'll think, oh my God, they're being biased. It's Arsenal channel and they're picking all Arsenal players here. But
we haven't, though, have we? We haven't.
No, but
best defence in the league this season. Enough said.
Yeah, enough said. That's it. But I'm gonna at this stage, I'm gonna say it now, right? For me, Gabriel's been better than Saliba for me this season. And a lot of people might go, what? Ooh, what? Oh, I don't know about that.
I fully agree.
But for me, he's been the better central defender. Yes, Saliba's the Rolls Royce. Yes, he's the silky smooth. But if you were the proper centre back, someone who never misses an header, never misses a tackle, goes up there scoring, probably, I think, scored more goals than any other centre half. he's absolutely fearless. He's been absolutely outstanding. You know, and I think I'd go as far as probably say he's been the best centre back in the Premier League this season. And I'm not saying that with any sort of like, you know, bias towards it. I genuinely think. I mean, people will say Van Dijk. I don't think he's anywhere near. Well, maybe that's a bit too much going. So he ain't anywhere near him this season. But I don't think he's been as good as him. So for me, yeah, Gabriel, it's got to be Gabriel.
All right, Gabriel Magalhaes gets the nod for Steve. Melvin, for you?
Definitely for me. I mean, he's got something about him. He's like a warrior, isn't he? We need warriors, and he is, or could be. We've got a few of them now, thank God. He could be a captain of Arsenal, most certainly. He's got that about him. He leads by example. He's the type of guy when you're playing in midfield or up front, you turn around, you see him behind you, think, we've got a chance here, whoever you're playing. So, no, it's got to be him. And you're right, Steve. He has been playing better than Saliba. As good as Saliba's been, he's the one that's really been top-notch. His performances, week in, week out, have been right up there. And he scores a lot of goals.
Yeah.
He does. And he causes havoc up for corners and all that. So, no, for me, yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Great signing.
I think the thing with Gabriel, he's had to shake off the liability, the clumsy tag, which people labelled him with, because he was. People forget he came into this Arsenal team in a team that wasn't really. He was playing with Mustafi. He was playing with David Luiz, who was coming towards the end of his career. Socrates at time, and then he was being asked as 23 came in to be one of the main players in a crumbling defence. It was all over the place. And because of that, because people watching him on his development, they've labelled him, and it's hard to shake off. Even this season, people were claiming that Gabriel's a liability, and I just feel like if you're making those sorts of statements, you haven't been watching him. You've just gone off of the mistakes you saw in his first year at Arsenal or in the pre-season game, and you've labelled him as a liability. Like I think because of that, and because Saliba is the blue-eyed boy. It's easy to look at Saliba's performances. It's easy to look at in a game where Saliba's done a nice turn or won the ball back and point out how good Saliba's been and completely dismiss his centre-back partner who's throwing his head where people don't put their feet or putting in last-ditch challenges or putting in blocks. And he just goes unnoticed sometimes. But it's good to see that now he's starting to get the credit that's due. I've seen it on other podcasts where they're saying that he's been one of the best centre-backs in the league this season. I think it's about time he does get that sort of credit as well. So I'd agree. And I would agree with you, Steve. I think Gabriel Magalhaes has been one of the best defenders in the league this season. And it's definitely in the conversation for that team of the season. Definitely.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%.
We'll go 4-3-3 formation. We'll start off with the defensive central midfielder. See, this kind of gymnastics Steve's going to do to cram in a whole Arsenal midfield. Steve, who's your defensive central midfielder?
Right, I'm going to go numbers. The number 6? Yeah, number six. Yeah. Rodri.
Get out of it. There's no way you pick Rodri.
You know what?
I know who you're picking. I know your team. I know your team. I know the team. I know the team you're picking, Steve. Go on.
But there is like thought behind this. It's not like where can I squeeze him in? Do you know what I mean? It's like I might as well without talking about the other one, it's difficult to explain the reasons why. But for me, if I put Rodri in the 6, and then I put Declan Rice in the 8, it's the way Arsenal play. And Declan Rice plays a lot in that position because, normally we'd be playing with Jorginho recently, and then Rice is in the 8, and then we have the Odegaard, and then we have the interchanging. But we play the same way as Man City. Similar. We've got similar systems. Do you know what I mean? Where they interchange and all that. So, yeah, look, we can't sort of like dismiss how good Rodri is. I mean, he is, special. So yeah, my number six will be Rodri.
Okay, Steve's number 6 is going to be Rodri. Kevin Parker will be happy.
It was one for Kevin. It was for Kevin, that one, I think.
Melvin, who have you gone for in the number 6 position?
100%. It's got to be Rodri. Why do you not think it could be Rodri, Kieran? I don't get it.
Well,
I do think it's Rodri, but this is Steve.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We're acting like this is cut and dry, and Steve hasn't swapped out Rodri and Rice multiple times on that sheet.
Yeah. You're making me think now. Who's played in their positions.
So Rodri gets the pick in that number 6 position. Number 8, who gets your nod in the number 8 position, Steve?
Number 8's got to be Declan Rice. So if you're doing a combined 11, I think having Rice and Rodri together would be the perfect combination. And whatever we said that we can find any words any different from what we've spoken about Declan Rice this season. If you're picking out who's out of the best out of the two, for me, Rice has been better than Rodri this season. But Rodri and Rice together in that midfield would be incredible. And that's why I think Arsenal are looking for someone like Zubimendi, who's very similar to Rodri in the summer, very similar. So actually quite creepily similar actually when you watch Zubimendi play. So to have them together within midfielder, I'm praying that he's the guy we get. But yeah, for me, it'd be Declan Rice. Been amazing this season. Incredible buy.
All right, Declan Rice in that number 8 position for Steve. Melvin, who have you picked for the number 8?
Yeah, I do agree with Steve. Rice, most certainly. Those two together would be fantastic. This excuse my pronunciation. Zubimendi, is it, Steve? Is he as strong as Rodri, though? Because physically, Rodri is so strong. Is he like him, or is he a little guy?
Smaller. Yeah, smaller.
But surprisingly, got something about him in that.
Yeah. He's he can't move like Rodri. He's quicker than Rodri. He's more nimbler than Rodri. He's got the intelligence of Jorginho and the passing ability of Jorginho. And yeah, I mean, do you know who I can maybe similar to? Without not funny enough. I'm going to mention the famous player's name here, but I can't say I really sort of watched him a lot. And that's Kente. Do you know what I mean? He reminds me
a Chelsea guy.
A little bit of him, strong, tough. Do you know what I mean? Never loses a ball, brilliant passer. Just powers through that midfielder, even though he's only small and slight.
Is he small and slight, this geezer?
He's not like he's not 6'2". He's probably about 5'10", 11. He's smaller.
He's not like 5'8" or something. All right.
No, I don't.
He's not like a Vieira. That's what I'm asking. The question I'm really asking. Is he like Vieira?
No,
Vieira
you've
got now. I'm talking about.
No.
Right, good.
He plays with Rodri. Rodri moves into the 8 for Spain, and Zubimendi pops in.
Oh,
so
right,
they're the two. So they all want him. Barcelona want to replace. I mean, look, Barcelona want Zubimendi as well because they see Busquets in him. So there's your sort of another scenario of a player that he's like, he gets very, sort of said that he's similar to Busquets, Sergio Busquets. So, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll have Rice just to answer your question again. Yeah, Rice definitely for me.
Okay, yeah. Rice comes in. Zubimendi he's not the same stature as Fabio Vieira. I think Zubimendi is taller than him. He's probably about 5. He's 5'9", roughly. And what weight wise? Yeah, he's much. He's probably about 20 kilos heavier than Fabio Vieira. It struggled to be a number 6, even in the Spanish league, with the sort of stature of Vieira. Looks a very good player. Hensey says, with all due respect, I hate combined 11, but so far I'm here watching and also so far agreeing. Mate, just like half and half scarves, I'm not a fan either. But
can I just
give it a
say
go.
something? I read something not just before we came on. Hensey put out. It might have been a bit longer than that. Yeah, just before we come out, I think it was about John Peel passed away 20 years ago today. He put out, and also in 1900, a player called Norman Peel made his first appearance for Arsenal on this date. They're not related, though. We don't think. He puts out these little snippets in. He's brilliant.
Hensey, give us a fact, Hensey. Give us a fact. Come on.
No, he's got loads.
Wow us. Come on. He did it a couple of weeks ago.
Follow him.
So very
brilliant. Just follow him.
I was very impressed. Okay, Rice gets the nod in that centre midfield as the 8. Okay. Declan Rice comes in there with Rodri. Who is going to be your attacking central midfielder, Steve? This one is going to rile up some people, I can tell.
Jesus.
No, he plays up front.
If it's a one-off game tomorrow, I'm probably going De Bruyne. If it's like over the next few seasons, it's Odegaard.
The next few seasons, this is some gymnastics I was not expecting.
Yeah, but yeah, look, it's the now, isn't it? You know, and look, I mean, 12 assists in like something ridiculous, like 6 games for De Bruyne since he's come back. The man's an absolute unreal. Odegaard is on his way to De Bruyne level. We all know that. We all know, you know, and I think he probably will get to world class before any of the other Arsenal players do. But in my mind, look, I've got to go De Bruyne, and that kills me because we all know how much we love Odegaard. We know how good he is, but he's coming up against probably, arguably, one of the best Premier League attacking mids of all time. So how can you not put him in? Got
to. Melvin, who have you gone for in the attacking central midfield position?
It's very difficult, and I think that for me, De Bruyne gets it. I mean, what a midfield that is! That is some midfield, isn't it?
It is.
Rodri, Rice, and Bruyne. Yeah,
looking good. Looking very, very good. So far, Steve's gone for Edison in goal, Ben White at right back, Nathan Ake at left back, William Saliba and Gabriel in a centre back partnership. Central midfield of Rodri, Rice, and Kevin De Bruyne. And Melvin has gone for Edison in goal, Carl Walker at right back, Nathan Ake at left back, William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes in at the centre back positions, Rodri, Rice, and Kevin De Bruyne as well. Okay, it's time for our wingers. We'll start with the right wingers. Steve.
Right winger. Yeah, I'm going Saka. Yeah, without any shadow of a doubt. So, yeah. Getting back to his best. Even when he's playing bad, you know, he's still clocking up the goals, clocking up the assists, and that's when he's not on form. And now, you know, the last few weeks he's really starting to hit form again. For me, it's got to be Saka. I'm Saka.
Saka gets the nod. Melvin, who's your right midfielder or right winger?
It's very difficult between him and Foden, isn't it? It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Saka. Yeah, Saka. He's got a bit about him. Yeah.
And the conversation about Saka and Foden, do you think it's a fair one? Do you see the comparisons? Do you think they should be two players that are compared against each other, Melvin?
I think so, because they've got similar type of styles. They're both left-footed, play on the right, love the cut inside, can finish, can make goals. Yeah, I think the end result is the same with both of them. I think, it's a fair comparison. Yeah. Okay. One's, I think, a little bit cuter. I think Foden's a little bit cuter in not getting caught on the ball so much. But apart from that, there's a fair comparison between the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're both very technical players, but I think Foden nudges it when it comes to the technical ability. Steve, your thoughts?
Yeah. I think it is a fair. I think it's a fair comparison. I think what takes Saka just that, tips him over the edge for me, maybe even more a little bit over the edge, is the fact that when Saka's playing poorly or not up to his full standards, like I've already said, he still clocks up the goals, still clocks up with his assist. When Foden's not playing well, or he's not, you don't even notice he's on the pitch, he'll go missing. And I know Man City fans will probably come at me for that, but I genuinely believe that Foden at his best is right up there with Saka, no doubt. But he don't necessarily seem to play as well when he's not on form. He don't seem to score goals, get assists like Saka does. In my opinion anyway. So fair comparison. But for me, Saka, not clear, but I didn't have to think about it too much.
Just a quick live score update. England are currently losing 2-1 to Belgium. Ivan Toney scoring from a penalty spot in the 17th minute. I think it's his first international goal, it might be his second. And Yuri Tillemans with a brace, 11 minutes and 36 minutes in. England preparations before the Euros not going as planned. Okay, next position, the left wing position. Plenty to choose from. Jeremy Doku, Martinelli, Trossard. Grealish has kind of been out this season. They had a few injuries, which has kept him out from being consistent. Steve,
can I start with this? Sorry, can I go? Sorry. Carry on.
Go on, mate. Yeah, go on.
I just want to make a statement, and it's perhaps I'm out of order. I think
you are.
Doku is one of the most overrated players I've seen. He promises so much. He gets the ball, and everyone's off their seat. Then they forget why they're off their seat. They just sit down again. There's no end.
You're not the only one to say that. You're not the only one to say that.
Oh, right.
No.
So for me,
no, it's not as hot a take as you think.
I thought everyone loves him. I thought everyone thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement, but then you've also got the people that say, I'm seeing another Alan St. Maximum, where it looks very exciting, looks like a lot of feet going everywhere, but then he's not really doing much with the ball. It'd be interesting to see. It's his first season. So I will reserve my full judgment on him. And he's still young. He's still a very raw talent. So it'd be interesting to see what Pep can do with him. I'm sure we've seen the likes of Jack Grealish, who didn't have the greatest first season under Pep. Vardiol hasn't had the best season under Pep so far, but it is their first season in the Premier League, and it's the reason why it's the toughest league in the world. Steve, yours was just a statement, wasn't it? Or you might as well go first. You might as well go first, Melvin.
All right, Martinelli by a mile. You just said the others have not done anything. Yeah, Martinelli by a mile.
Okay,
I know he's not had his greatest season, but when he's on form, and it's been a few times this season he's been on form, he's been outstanding. He does everything. He challenges, gets back, gets the ball off people. He can score. He can make. No, for me, it's him. It's him. He's a very exciting player, and I'm so pleased we got him.
All right, Steve.
I agree. Yeah, just quickly, I agree with Doku, by the way. But also I agree the fact that I think we should give him another season. See what he does. I mean, I think he got 1 goal, 4 assists against in 1 game, and then since then he's got 1 goal, 1 assist all season. So but we'll see with him anyway. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball in here on this conversation of left wing, and it's me just playing probably devil's advocate more than anything else. I was thinking Foden when I was thinking about what my team is. Playing Foden out on the left, because he plays out on the left for Pep. Sometimes he plays out on the right, sometimes he plays on the left. He's brought Doku in, and he's been playing out on the other side, basically because I think Silva and they haven't got no one to play out there, basically. But I did think about putting Foden on the left with Saka on the right, and if we put Foden into that conversation as playing on the left, does it make it a different conversation. Is it that, you know, plain sailing that we go, yeah, Martinelli still bosh, you know, or is there an argument to say that, oh yeah, hold on a minute, yeah, Foden, everybody keeps calling for him to play there for England on the left, you know, because it was short, but yeah, I don't know, you know, is his name in the conversation? But other than that, if we're taking Foden out of it, then it's got to be Martinelli hands down. You know, Grealish was great last season, but we ain't seen him. Doku, yeah, it's got to be Martinelli. But yeah, Foden could be a shout on there, playing on the left.
I mean, Foden this season's played 20 games as a right winger, scored 7, got 4 assists. Attacking midfield, he's played 11 games, scored 7, 4 assists. So it seems his best position so far this season seems to be attacking midfielder. And left winger, he's played 6 games, 3 goals and 2 assists. So he does get joy out there. So it's not off. Definitely not off the cards. You going for Foden in that position there, Steve?
No, I think I've got to go Martinelli because just for the amount because he's played there all season, and Martinelli on his day, he's like, he can be unplayable on his day, isn't he? But I think like if I was if Martinelli wasn't there, for me, second choice would be Foden and not any of the other ones mentioned. He would be my, you know, it would be Martinelli or Foden, one of those two for me, and not the other ones I wouldn't even be thinking about, especially the form Foden's been showing over the last, you know, second half of this season, if you like. He's been unreal, you know, incredible form. So yeah, it came to me head, but at the end of the day, Martinelli's been fantastic all season in that position. So yeah, Martinelli.
Yeah, well, Martinelli's not had his greatest season. He's had a few injuries as well. He's been a bit up and down, and in this season, he's still managed to get 10 goal contributions in 25 games, which isn't bad at all. 6 goals and 4 assists in 25 games in the Premier League. So not having the best season up to his stands, especially in comparison to last season, but still getting the numbers. So Steve, you've gone for Gabriel Martinelli on that left wing. Up top, centre forward. Steve, we'll start with you.
It's just not even a conversation, is it? Everts. I'm actually insulted. Actually, the question was even asked. I thought you'd just swerve it and just go on to who was the manager.
It begins with a H. You should have said.
Yeah.
And an A. Yeah. No, mate. Yeah. Sorry, Kai. But yeah, I'm afraid it's Haaland.
It's Haaland as a centre forward position. And Melvin, who are you going for centre forward? Do I need to ask?
No, you don't. It's got to be him, Haaland. It's got to be him. I know he hasn't played as well this year as the first season he's had, which was phenomenal. But yeah, in that now the 11 we've picked with him in it just sets it off. I mean, what a team! What a team!
And we can't, like Henty said, we can't not pick a manager. Steve, who are you going for as your manager in the combined 11?
This season?
Stop asking me when, where, or why.
Look, right. I'm coming out again. I'm coming out with chest. Best defence, best goal scorers, best defensive midfield player. Letting least goals, scored more goals. Got to be Mikel. Got to be Mikel this season. Right. I'm going Mikel. I mean, nobody can argue with that. You know, maybe at the end of the season we could be having another conversation for Premier League Team of the Year, and Pep might be that manager. At this moment in time, Mikel Arteta for me.
Well, what you meant to say was argue with yourself. Okay, Mikel Arteta gets the nod for Steve. Melvin, who gets the nod for you?
Yeah, Mikel, every time.
Okay.
He's a brilliant manager, Pep, don't get me wrong, but he's got everything was laid on a plate. He's a brilliant manager. So I'm saying that he had an easier path to Mikel. Mikel had to do it the hard way. He didn't start with a blank canvas, Mikel. He started with a minus canvas because he had all the crap to get rid of that he had to place all the weeks till he got his team sorted out.
Yeah.
And he's actually changed the way we play. He's changed the mentality. He's changed the concept, and so many people dislike us. So he must be doing something right.
Yeah. So much disrespect, Melvin.
Yeah,
So
very
much
much
disrespect.
so, Steve.
Much disrespect for Mikel Arteta, even today by rival fans who basically half of them don't know what they're talking about anyway. So I don't really listen to them. But ex-professionals, ex-pros who just do not give him the credit that he deserves. On podcasts, football radio stations, or you think by people who would know better, who are in the game, just the lack of respect for this guy, and I'm fed up with this bloody conversation from Chelsea fans and Manchester United fans who say, well, you wanted him sacked, you wanted him out, you was in this situation. No, we did not want him sacked, and no, we're not in your situation. Right, we didn't have £1 billion squads. We didn't spend in our first 2 seasons like £600 million. That is the disrespect and the lack of football knowledge from these people really gets to me. And just have a think. This talk of that we wanted him out, and we was in that situation where you give him time. It was nothing like that. It was totally different. It wasn't even in the same ballpark.
Look, there was the people who there are certain people that will get itchy feet whatever happens. The same people that if a player comes in that they don't quite rate, it starts on the back foot in this fan base. The same people that will say that Arteta needs to leave. The same people in this fan base, they do not change. They do not change. They're the same people that said Havertz is a meaty player or he's bang average based off of his time at Chelsea. So there's a lot of people that will make a judgment on a person very early doors. But the majority of Arsenal fans, trust me, they weren't looking for Mikel Arteta to go. They saw the job that he had in hand. They saw how big changes he had to make, the decisions that he had to make, and they saw the changes as they were coming along. Those 8 seasons were like 8th is not the greatest position to finish off a season in, but when you look at the squad that we had, it's justified in my eyes. It's definitely justified. Okay, let's have a look. I think there was only one difference in player that you picked, Melvin.
Right back. You
picked Kyle Walker, and Steve, you picked Ben
disgraceful,
White.
Melvin. Absolutely.
Sorry, Steve. I apologise.
Let's look at the final 11. Okay, here's the final 11. In goal, Ederson gets the nod. At right back, I went for Ben White. I had the final call on this. Centre-back pairing of William Saliba and Gabriel have been the best centre-back pairing of the league this season, so no question there. Nathan Ake in at left-back has been quality this season. And I potentially would have picked Akanji maybe. When he's played that, I think he's been very, very good. But it's either or. I think I do really rate Ake. Declan Rice in at centre midfield with Rodri and Kevin De Bruyne. Don't think there's any arguments there. Odegaard definitely unlucky to miss out. Right midfield, right wing of Bukayo Saka. Left, Gabriel Martinelli. Up top, Haaland. And the manager is Mikel Arteta. There will be people out there saying, how is Phil Foden not in the team? But does he get in over Saka? Henty says, listening to you three were in a good place. Just a number 9 missing compared to City as a real difference. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what Arsenal do in the summer. Guy Carers is a player that Arsenal were looking at. Is he the number 9 that Arsenal need to really, in those crucial moments, put the ball in the back of the net? It'd be interesting to see.
So he's the closest I'd say to Haaland out of all the forwards out there. That physical, specimen. Do you know what I mean? That you put as a number 9.
6'2", quick, strong.
Yeah,
but he's quite tenacious as well. He's got that little bit of Bellamy in him. So anyone that knows Craig Bellamy, but I'd say mixture between Bellamy and Huckabee. I'm going back to the back to the Stone
Coventry
Age naming
days.
these players.
Coventry. Both played for
Coventry,
Coventry.
Coventry, Norwich.
All three
very,
played for
very good players.
Coventry, actually. All three.
Yeah, I think
Yes,
we
they did.
can.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay.
That's funny.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we can sort of like cross off Tony and Watkins there. I've a lot of I see online a lot of people Tony Watkins, and it's still in people's lists. And I'm talking top, top transfer people's lists of like
But it's
they're
not
looking
the
at Tony.
profile.
Not in my. Not in my circle. They're not looking at them at the minute.
It's not the profile. Where
No.
in Arsenal's profile of players in the last 3 windows have Arsenal brought in someone that's over the age of 20, 26, 27 and paid that sort of fee for him? Now, they've brought in a Jorginho, they've brought in a Trossard, inexperienced players, but they're not paying over the odds for him. Like they're making sure they're very good deals and paying £70 million for a player it's his last move. It's his last big move. A Tony, a Watkins, it's their last big move. I would probably say it's probably a few years too late for them to get
What happens?
Chelsea, something like that, easily.
Yeah, but like question to both of you. Let's just say, like, hypothetically, that for the rest of the season now, Kai Havertz carries on doing what he's doing. Yeah, go every other game. Gets us to a Champions League final. We end up winning the league. What do you do then if you're Mikel Arteta and Havertz ends up coming away with, say, scoring 15 goals? I mean, he didn't really start the season until about 10 games in. I mean, do you think, do I want to pay 80 million for forward, or do I have another go with Havertz?
No,
and Jesus.
I treat it the same way as a club like Man United used to do. If you're the best team in the league, you look to be better the following season. Sitting there like with the strike force that we've had this season, and not trying to progress the team in that way, in that position. When we've had moments where it's been we needed someone of that option. You've got to remember we played Eddie a fair few games this season, and those games could have been someone like a Goykeres or whatever striker. So I still feel there is a need for an option there. I don't think Kai Havertz the only option that we should have outside of Gabriel Jesus. And it's definitely someone I would bring in anyway, no matter what happens. Mel?
I agree. I think if you don't move forward every season, you go backwards.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so the combined 11's done. It's now time to look at the latest news. The latest news for Arsenal. It's kind of international duty. Didier Deschamps makes comments on William Saliba, but apparently people say it makes no sense. Didier Deschamps has stated that William Saliba, in the times that he has played for France, hasn't been quite up to scratch or better than the players that are currently there, which is the reason why he's not getting the nod above the likes of Upamecano, Pavard, or Konate. Steve, Didier Deschamps has made a few comments. He went on to say the hierarchy doesn't favour him at the moment, but he's here. There, Upamecano's had games and times, and perhaps Williams had less. With certain players, I make sure to preserve, because it could be confidence or little blockages that they can shift. Some don't have any concerns. Some need game time. William has had less game time, so that doesn't allow him to be very calm. He's having a good season, but he also does things that I don't like so much for France. He has a limited game time, but when he plays, that hasn't been necessarily gone well. Comments, fair or unfair, from Didier Deschamps?
I think they're stupid comments, to be honest with you. I think they're needless comments. I can't, it seems like a comment. I'm trying to think of it's a manager coming out and putting a player down, and I don't like it, and I like it even less, due to the fact that it's an Arsenal player. From what I've been hearing sort of today, is something that he's sort of like, he's come out of a lot. He does like to come out and put players down. And to be honest with you, if it was any other player, I probably wouldn't even give him couldn't care less. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't care less. But you know, no, I think it's unfair. I think it's wrong. I don't understand it. Yeah, and he's come out with the comments that he feels that he's behind players like Upper Meccano and a few others that you named there. And I personally, I think he's better than all of them. Kanate's maybe that little bit more experience, so maybe I can understand that. But Upper Meccano, my God, he's been absolute pants for Germany this season. If he's doing well, these other players are doing well. When they pop out there for these meaningless rubbish friendlies, then and maybe Williams not performing in those games, then personally I don't really care. But as far as the comments go, I think they're wrong. I think they're needless, and I don't think like some manager Mikel Arteta. I don't think he'd be too pleased, about him saying about like that one of our players. I mean, you don't know how that would affect him. We're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We've got Man City. We're in a title race, and you're popping one of our players basically, aren't you? And you don't know how it's going to affect him. And I mean, he's not been playing great recently, Saliba. So any other manager, I felt, with Arthur like brain cell, would be doing everything he can to come out and big that player up, a young player, 22-year-old. And he's come out and just done the total opposite. I don't like it. You probably can tell by my tone of voice. I wasn't pleased to hear it at all. But I just hope William can just brush it off, and let his football do the talking, and just get back to Arsenal ASAP, and we'll get back to Champions League and title matters. But I wasn't pleased with it, mate. Wasn't pleased, as you probably can tell.
Yeah, definitely. Melvin, fair comments from the French manager. Just to say that.
Well, I actually 100% agree with every word Steve said. It's unbelievable. I don't know what's he hoped to achieve. A lot of football with life is about confidence. And if you're going to slag a player off, you can do that behind closed doors. You don't need to do it in public. It's never a good thing. I mean, he's an international manager, so he's not going to really lose his team because everyone wants to play for your country. Well, most, you would do. But if he was doing this at club level, he might upset a few players. There might be a few players that are very, very friendly with Saliba and go, hold on a minute. Are you sure? Are you sure about this? No, I don't know what it was he was trying to do. Did he want to get his name in lights, the manager again or something? Couldn't think of what to say, so he said that. There must be other things that are wrong with the team that he could have thought about, but not in public. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
we've seen a few managers this season come out and publicly make statements about players, but usually that's when the players maybe done something wrong and it's the last hope to try and get out of them.
Yeah.
It is a bit strange for Didier Deschamps to come out with these comments. It seems unprompted. Maybe it's because he's had a few people question as to why Saliba's not been in the team and his ego's got in the way. It just does seem a bit odd to go at a player like that, especially someone so young.
You very rarely have a manager say why they haven't picked someone. You normally get them why they have picked someone. So I think that's a bit strange. All he had to say was, why have you picked this player against him? And I think he's playing better at the moment. End of. This player's playing very well. I can't drop him. There's no reason for me to not play him. Not the other player.
Yeah. Or managers come out. They say, so-and-so's dropped this week. They say, we got a big squad. He's played a lot of games.
The same generics.
He's playing for Arsenal. They've played, they've had every schedule. He's played in Champions League. He's playing in, 2-3 games every week. We're going to give the boy a rest. You know what I mean? That's all it is. But no, just totally brain dead comment. It comes out. Don't think. Do you know what I mean? Just, I don't know. I can't work out why he said it or what he's like. What Melvin said. What he thinks he's going to achieve out of it. Apart from maybe pissing the player off. But I don't know. It's done now, isn't it?
All right. And next up, Declan Rice aims to convince Arsenal teammate Ben White to end his England exile. Declan Rice has said Arsenal's England contingent are on a mission to convince Ben White to rethink his refusal to play for his country. That's the likes of Aaron Ramsdale, Bukayo Saka, and Declan Rice. Hopefully, can change his mind. He states he's a really unique player because he can play in 3 positions. In tournaments, that's so key. He can play a centre back, he can play at right back, he can also play an inverted fullback. When I get back, I can have a conversation with him and see the ins and outs and see what he thinks. I would love him to come. I think Bukayo would, and I think Aaron Ramsdale would as well. I think they're all going to be on him when he gets back, and hopefully we can change his mind. It does seem very much like the England contingent, the Arsenal contingent, would like to see Ben White there. Do you think that's? Do you think it's worth their time trying to convince him, Steve?
No, not really. I think they should just let him make his own choice and let him get on with it. To be honest with you, I think the Saka and Ramsdale and Declan Rice, they all know what happened in Qatar. It's like, Deck said that he'll get back and he'll find out what's the ins and outs. He knows what the ins and outs are. He knows what's happened. Do you know what I mean? Look, he's been made captain tonight. I think he's come out. I think the way he came out when asked a question, I think he said it perfectly. I think he was he worded his what he said very well. But I can't see personally Arsenal, Ramsdale, Saka, and Declan Rice going back, on the weekend or whatever in a few days' time and going up to Ben and saying, "No, look, come on, come back to England, come back." I can't see that happening. And to be honest with you, I don't think they should. I don't think all this like Arsenal England thing. It's like it's just an hindrance, isn't it? Southgate. Ben White wasn't picked. Southgate come out with his said, and Arsenal should be just left alone to get on with the Champions League. But we've got all this furore around it, and it's been made up of this pointless England games, which I think the majority of the country don't even think is worth being played. So, to answer your question, mate, I think they should just leave it. And to be honest with you, I think Declan just said that. I can't see the boys going back, Ramsdale, Saka, and pulling Ben to one side and saying, "Here, Ben, come on." I think they already know. Do you know what I mean? They must have had conversations beforehand before they flew out there. I'm sure they have. And personally, I just think they should leave it and just let Ben get on with his football at Arsenal. And I think they will actually. I think they will. I can't see them rallying around Ben. But look, it is sad. There's no doubt about that. We all like to see Arsenal players playing for England. But it's like I said last week. That's his choice. That's his choice, and I'm behind him for it.
All right, Melvin, what's your thoughts on this? On Ben Declan Rice's statement there? Do you think he's right to try and convince Ben White to come back to the England squad, or do you think he should even bother at all?
I think all the England contingent, the Saka, Rice and Ramsdale, should concentrate on doing what's right for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Not worry about England. That should be out of their mind. Once they've kicked the last ball tonight, go back to Arsenal and forget all about England. They don't exist, in my opinion. You've got, like Tony Adams used to say, this part of the season, you give everything to win the league if you've got a chance. And that's what they should be doing, not worrying about that the manager of England doesn't like this one or the Arsenal player's not happy. Forget about all that. Concentrate on Arsenal, because that is what it's all about. No interest with England. If they win tonight, great. If they don't, it doesn't really matter. It matters on Sunday and every game from there on, being an Arsenal supporter. They're the important ones. So I don't want Arsenal players to even give it another moment's thought. He might have said it because he's been made a bit of England captain, so perhaps he wants to show a bit of loyalty to the manager. And that's all it is, in my opinion. Had he not been England captain tonight, I'm not too sure if he would or would not have said that. But it smells to me of that. And after tonight, forget about it, Mr. Rice, and do what you can do and try and help win the league for Arsenal.
All right, cool. That's the end on that one as well. Okay, now time for the latest on the transfer news. Steve, Arsenal being linked with Sporting Lisbon and Ivory Coast defender Osman Diomande. What's the latest on that?
I've not heard nothing on this one, mate. I can't like. I've seen the reports from decent, from decent journalists, people that I'd say you would normally listen to. I've not heard nothing my end from the people I talk to anyway. They've not mentioned it. And again, it don't make sense. It don't make no sense. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think it may have been Charles Watts who come out with it. I mean, yeah, he's normally about a year behind. He's certainly a year behind me when he comes out of his news. It's quite funny, actually. It's like, exclusive Charles Watts. I'm like, is it really? No, I don't think so, Charles. But I think he came out. I think Ben Jacobs mentioned something as well. But I've not heard anything for this, and I'm not surprised that I haven't heard anything because it doesn't make any sense. He's a centre back
with this stature as well.
Yeah, we've got like other places where we need to, first, we need to sort out. I mean, we've got Timber who's a centre back as well. We've got Keogh who's a centre back. We've got Ben White and Tomiyasu who can play centre back. Why the hell are we going to go and want to pay 60, 70 million for a Sporting Lisbon centre back? It makes absolutely no sense. And as I said, I can't add anything more to it because it's something that I've not spoken to anybody about, or it's been mentioned to me.
Okay. And finally, Manu Kone being linked as an alternative to Mendy.
Yeah, Manu Kone is a very good player. He's from, I can't remember the place, he comes from France, doesn't he? But he's
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's a young 22-year-old. And yeah, he's a player that, because a lot of people want Zubimendi, if they don't get, he's someone in the same mould. He's probably more your Rodri. He's a bit taller, he's strong, he's powerful.
Steve gone.
Oh, it's always at this time of the show. It's like do you know what? I think his missus cuts the Wi-Fi off as a little warning.
Or he runs out of the meter. The meter's gone down.
So it is
every night.
Yeah. Kone, yeah, he's very technically gifted. I was just about to say just before I got switched off there. But yeah, he's someone who is on the list. He's someone that Arsenal admire. Not much more than that at the minute. But yeah, I don't know if you've seen him or you've watched him play. But until he was mentioned to me, I didn't know nothing about him. So I went and had a look. He looks decent, actually. I can see why Arteta likes him. It's funny how you look at a player and you think, yeah, all right, yeah.
He fits the mold.
I get what you're talking about now. Yeah. Why you like him. So yeah, just one to keep an eye on there, certainly.
All right, one to keep an eye on there. On that note, that is all we have time for. Thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight. Comment section's been popping there. Hente, very good value. Boyce, thank you for joining, and Russ as well. Everyone else who's joined as well, quite a few watches tonight. Please hit that like and subscribe. Hit that share button. Hit that. If you're watching on Twitter, hit that retweet. Hit that like. Yeah, we appreciate the support. Big game coming up this weekend. Quickly, Steve, give us your score prediction.
Melvin, I think you should go first in this one. I've been going first all night long.
It's your score prediction.
I'm going for Arsenal to win by 2 goals. I'm not
by 2 goals at the Etihad.
2-0. 2-0 at the Etihad. We're doing what we did the last time. We went the same score when we beat them last time at the Etihad. I mean, Giroud got the second.
Yeah.
I'm going for that.
Years
ago.
Steve.
I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going for a clean sheet, and it's got to be King Kai, isn't it? It's got to be King Kai with an header.
All right.
King Kai
this
with
is
an
the
header.
man who before was talking with his chest. Once we hit the podcast, he's taking it back a little bit. And now, by the end of the show, he's back with his chest, clean kite to score the winner, 1-0 to Arsenal. A classic score for any old school Arsenal fans out there.
I think we've got to start backing them. I think we've got to start backing them now. If there's any time of the season now, we've got to start like backing our team. I think it's now, because this is the best team that I've seen since the Invincibles. So if we're not going to get behind them now, then when
we
can
get
we?
behind them with 2 games to go? That is when we will. When we can really see that finishing line.
I think the host should give a score prediction, don't you? He gets away with it.
Tough. I personally think it's going to be a draw, but I think a draw is a good result.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Yeah, that's still a very good result at the Etihad, and it will frustrate City and it will rattle Liverpool even more than they've been rattled this season, which I'm absolutely loving, because I didn't realise that Liverpool fans were like this, but since we smashed them, they have not. They came out of their box. Someone chucked a 50p in, and it ain't stopped rattling since. It's killing.
Yeah.
So,
and someone
Farrell's different.
I don't know, mate. I think he's getting rattled, mate. He's getting rattled. He's getting rattled. If you're watching tonight, Farrell, you know. We've had our WhatsApp chats, Farrell, haven't we? Go and watch it. Empire the Cop, by the way. Go and subscribe. Fantastic channel. But Farrell, I don't know, and he was getting a little bit. We was like last night. He was getting a bit. We were sort of, getting a little bit. What's the word? Aggravated.
Agitated. He was.
Agitated. See, one thing I thought of today, just before we go, we had this thing last night, didn't we, about the players and been there, and we had a fantastic debate. Please go and watch it. Super 6 Transfer Exchange Show. We had a great debate, and I had a think today. Where were all these top world class players last year for Liverpool when they'd been there, done it, and got the T-shirt? Where were they then?
In the bin.
It
was only Mo Salah that turned it on last season. In the poor season for Chelsea, for Liverpool, he's still one of the top goal scorers in the league and assist makers.
So we'll see.
We will see. Thank you for everyone who's joined us tonight. Make sure you join us at the post-match reaction of the game against Manchester City this weekend. Big game. Hopefully you'll see us smiling because Arsenal have got a result. Peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.